video, we will discuss how to create a SAS dataset. There are different ways to create a SAS dataset. So here we list some options. The first one is use a data step. The next one use import wizard, and the last one use proc import. So for data step, there are multiple statements can be used, but here in this video we will only discuss data line statement. For other choices such as set statement and in-file statement, so we will discuss them later. If your data are saved in some standard data file, so like Excel file or maybe CSV file, so you can use import wizard to load it. SAS can automatically load those data and will generate a SAS code for you automatically. And proc import is another convenient way to load standard data file, so such as Excel file or CSV file. So let's look at them one by one. So data step. So a data step can create or modify data set. So the input can be raw data or an existing data set. So now in this video, so we will discuss how to load a raw data. Raw data, so just means non-SAS data set, right? So such as Excel file or maybe CSV file. So using the data step, we can create a new SAS dataset. So this data step will produce some messages in the SAS log, but will not, it shows no report or other output. So we can use data step to do the following tasks. For example, so create a SAS dataset or maybe compute values. So check or correct errors in your data, or produce new dataset by subsetting, concatenating, merging, and updating existing datasets. Yeah, so those are, we will study those tasks in more detail in later. Yeah, so today we just, in this video, just focus on load the data to SAS. So basically create a SAS dataset. So this is the basic syntax to create a dataset. So in begin, so this is a data step, right? So begin with data. So then you put the name of the dataset here. So then in a input statement, you just list the name of the variables you want to create for this dataset. So you may insert more statement under that. And so in the end of this step, so you need to have data lines. So then you put copy paste your data here, right? And so then you will end your step just by this semicolon. So this semicolon should start at the beginning of a new line. Okay, and for your data, so when you prepare your data, so you should basically one row for one observation, and so the value should be separated by space. Yeah, so we can look at the example so we discussed early. So in the last class. So this is the code. So we create a dataset grades, right? So you can compare this with that. See, data grades. So tells us I want to create a dataset. So the name is grades. Okay, and so in the input statement, so I just list the 5 variables I want to create in this dataset. So the name will be name, sex, exam 1, exam 2, and exam 3. So then I say data lines. So basically, so then this part will be the contents of the data. We have 6 observations in total, and we have 5 variables for each observation. The value are separated by space, right? So then a semicolon, so start at the beginning of a new line. Yeah, so this is a complete data step. Well, so then you may notice, so there's some $sign here. Okay, there are 2 types of variables for SAS. So one is called a character variable. So the other one called numerical variable. So character, so basically meaning just letters or maybe numbers or symbols. So they are not meant to do calculation like addition, subtraction, right? So they are just character strings. So for character variable, so if you want to load them, okay. So under the name of the variable, you need to add a $sign. So basically tells us this variable should be imported as characters. So the length of the character, the default length is 8. Yeah, so long character may be chopped. Of course, so later, so we will discuss a option. We can, we can have character variables longer than 8 characters. Yeah, we will mention those later. A numerical variable basically means numbers, right? So for those numbers, they should be standard numbers. So so they can have those numbers, they can have a decimal point or this scientific notation, right? Yeah, but in those numbers, so you cannot have something like this, a $sign, right? So you cannot have those comma. Yeah, so those are non-standard numbers. Yeah, but right now, of course, so later, so we will discuss so how to load this kind of non-standard numbers. Yeah, but right now, so we only load those standard numbers. So a value must exist for every variable for each observation. So if we have no value, so then we may use a missing value. Yeah, so missing value just means no value is available for that observation at that for that observation for that variable, right? So in data line, so if you have missing value, so you will miss a period to indicate it, right? And so when SAS displays the missing value, so SAS, for character missing value, SAS will display it as a blank, and for numerical missing value, SAS will display it as a period. Yeah, so let's look at here. So let's run this part again, right? I guess so now we understand the meaning. So why we write the code in this way, right? So $sign indicate a character variable. For numerical variable, so there is no need for $sign, right? Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry. So then this is if you only run the data step, SAS will not show the contents of the data set, right? Yeah, but SAS will have this output data tab, so we'll show the contents. So if you want SAS to display the contents, and so you need to use the proc print, and then SAS will show the contents of a data set. We also want to show the missing value. So if you have missing value, so you need add a dot here, for example. So this is missing, right? So for example, so this score is missing, so then I write a dot, right? Okay, so then I run this one. You can see this name, so for the third observation is missing, so SAS will show a blank here. And so for the value for exam 2 is missing, right? So SAS show a period, okay? So that's missing value. So, yeah, so if your data set is small, so it is usually convenient to copy and paste your data and put that part into your SAS code. But if a data is large, so usually it already saved in an external file, so then we can load that file directly to SAS. So then look at one typical data file is called CSV file. Yeah, so this is the contents of the file, right? So then we have those are blood pressure for 22 patients. Yeah, so we have the name of the patient and the gender, systolic blood pressure and the diastolic blood pressure. So what is CSV file? So I have the CSV file saved here. So usually, so if you double click the file, by default, usually so Excel will open this automatically. Yeah, and if you open this, use any text editor, right? So like this one. So then this is the actual contents of CSV file. So you will see. So these are called ASCII file, What is ASCII file? So basically just means a file can be opened using a notepad. Okay, yeah, and so usually the first row will be the name of the variable, and so each of the name will be separated by comma, right? So after that, so one row for one observation, and the value will be separated by comma. So this is called CSV file. Yeah, so CSV means comma separated value. So for this type of file, so if you want to load it, one easy way is you just use the import wizard, right? So you can follow these steps to load it. So first you need to upload your data file into SAS Studio. Yeah, so if I open SAS Studio, right? So see, I have a folder here called dataset. So if I want to load the data, upload the data to this folder. So if you right click the name, so then you select upload files, right? So then you can choose file, and yeah, so basically you choose the file and then you click upload, and so then the SAS Studio, so we'll upload the file to your cloud to your cloud storage. I've already have the data here. So the blood pressure. So this one, or not this one. Oh, I save the data in this position in here. Yes, blood pressure, right? Yeah. So this is a CSV file. So if you right click, so that's something called import data, right? So you just click here. So you can see SAS creates a small piece of code. So from here, file line to here. Yeah, so you can copy, paste this to here, right? Okay, right. And so then you run this code, and so SAS will create a data for you, right? So basically we'll load that data. So this is use proc wizard, so you can easily load the data to SAS, right? So the name of the data set is called import, right? For example, so if you proc print data equals import run, right? Yeah, so you can ask SAS to show the contents of the data set. Okay, so this is one way. So you may notice, so SAS create this one, use proc import, right? So let's see how to use, what's the meaning of those proc wizard. Okay, so this is the procedure import. So this is the syntax to use proc import. So the name import, so this is the name of the procedure. So then you say out equal. So you put name of the dataset here. So then data file. So you need to specify the location of your file. Okay. So then you say dbms equals CSV. So here you just specify the type of your data file. Yeah. So because this is CSV, so then we say CSV here. Replace just means, so if there is a existing data set with the same name, and so I ask SAS to replace the existing data. Yeah, so run. Okay, so this is just how we write the code for proc import. Yeah, you can check, see, proc import, right? So data file. Data file is specified here, so I will mention this in a while. So this basically just specifies the location of your file. dbms equals CSV, right? So this is CSV file out. So this is the name of the dataset. Get names. This is really not needed, right? Yeah, because by default, so SAS will get the name from the first row of your dataset, right? So this is CSV file. And so if you have other file, for example, like Excel file, so you can also do something similar, right? you can compare this piece of code with the first one. You can see still we use proc import, right? And so out, so you just specify name of the dataset. Sorry, will be the name of the SAS dataset you want to create. Okay, so data file. So here you specify the location of your Excel file. Yeah, so in this dbms, you just specify this as xlsx. So this is the file extension for Excel file. This is the current version of the Excel file. For some old Excel file, and the extension may be XLS. So basically, you just put XLS there. Okay, yeah. So that's one thing you need to be careful. Yeah, see. So basically, from the proc to replace. So this is one statement. Of course, so this statement is a little bit long, right? Yeah, because from the beginning to here, we have only one semicolon. Yeah, so this is one statement. Okay. Yeah, so let's try to show you so how to get load the Excel file. So I have the Excel file here, right? Okay. Oh, probably so let me explain the file name first, and then we load that. So what is a file name here? In fact, it is okay. See, you just copy paste, you just replace this guy by this part. So this is totally fine. What's this? So this is the location of your file, right? So how to get the location of your file? If you right click the name of your data, so you check the property, you click properties, the location, right? So basically, so this is the location of your file on the cloud storage. So it's totally fine. So you write a data file, specify the location as this link here. Yeah. So notice, so the path or the link should be included in quotation marks. The quotation marks can be single quotation mark like here, or can be the double quotation mark like here, like this. Right? Yeah, but you need to be consistent. So I mean, on both ends, so either use both single quotation mark or use a double quotation mark. Yeah, so must be consistent. For example, so you run this one, you can see, so it works, right? So you check the log window, so everything looks fine, right? Yeah. Okay. So then what is this file name? So this is sometimes, I mean, for the advantage of programming, instead of write this whole path, right? So then we just create a alias or just a alias or a token for this link, right? See, basically file name. So this is the purpose of file name statement. Yeah, so you specify, so this token or this alias ref file, right? So this is used to refer to this location. Yeah, so then in the place of this this data file option, so you just write the alias or the token here. Yeah, so this is the purpose of file name statement. Okay, right? So option data file, right? See, so basically in this data file option, so there are two possible ways to specify the location. So one is just in a local drive. This is not applicable for the SAS Studio, yeah, because SAS Studio has no access to your file saved on your hard disk. So it only has access to file in your cloud storage. Yeah, so then you have to write something like that, right? Or a web link, so just like here. Okay. Oh, what is a web link? Web link, so this is more, more general. Yeah, so basically you can specify a token in this way, right? So this is a file on your hard disk. So this is a file on your cloud storage. So this is a web link. So you can also specify a file to a web link directly. So just notice after the name of your data file, so you need to add URL. So basically tell SAS, so this is a web link. The purpose of this option is, well, so instead of download the file and upload the file to your cloud storage, right? So then you can directly specify a web link. So then SAS can automatically download this data and import the data for you. Yeah, so that will be much more convenient. Okay, so then for the my file, so this is the name you choose, right? So basically, so it's specified in this file name statement. So for this name, so must be less than or equal to 8 characters. Yeah, so this is much shorter than the name for SAS dataset or for the name of the variables. So at the most 8 characters. Just notice, so if your data file is very large, so usually, so I recommend you download the data, upload your data to your cloud storage, and then import the data there, because that will be much faster. And so if you directly use a web link, so it can be slow. So if your data set is small, so probably so you will not realize the difference. Yeah, but if your data set is large, the speed, the difference of speed can be dramatic. Yeah, so sometimes I experienced. So if I load the data from cloud directly, so it take less than 1 second, right? But if I directly use a web link, so the time can be like 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's dramatic difference, right? Also notice for this web link, it works for CSV file and for other ASCII file. Yeah, but does not work for the Excel file. So just means, so if you want to load your data from Excel file, you have to download the file and upload the file to your cloud storage. Right? Okay. So I mentioned those. So let's check the example. I think so. It is here. See, blood pressure. So this is a data it's a web link, right? So basically, usually for homework and maybe for exams, so I will provide data in this way. So I will give you a web link for that data file. So for web link, you can see, so then I just use a file name statement. So I call this guy my file 1. And then I say URL, so basically tells us, so this is a web link, right? So then I just include this web link in double quotation mark. So then I use a proc import to load the data. So then out equals blood. Yeah, so I specify name of the data set, right? I call it blood. So the data file, so this is the my file 1, so it is specified here, right? So dbms, so this is the CSV file, okay? And replace. So then after I import the data, so I use proc print to show the contents of the data. So I run it. Okay, so it works, right? Yeah, so you can check log window to make sure so SAS works as expected, right? So of course, so SAS generate many information, yeah, but if you see something like, so the data blood has 22 observations and 4 variables, and we know, so the data has 22 observations, 4 variables, yeah, so then that means it is fine, right? So means it works. Yeah, so usually, so for those notes, so those information is fine. Yeah, so as long as there is no warning message or error message. Okay. So then for the next one, so that's the Excel file. Yeah, so I have the file in here in this data set folder. Let's see. Data file folder. Yeah, here. So blood pressure Excel. So this is Excel file, right? So then I use a file name, my Excel. Yeah, so let me show you that Excel file first. I think I downloaded this file before. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. This is just standard Excel file. Okay. Yeah. Essentially the same contents as that CSV file. Yeah, but I just save the data in Excel. Yeah, so this is a piece of code. So out equals blood2. So the name of the dataset will be blood2. And the difference, notice the difference, dbms, right? I specify, so this should be XLSX. So this is a Excel file, right? So then I run this piece of code. Okay, so it looks nice, right? Okay. Okay, so now as a summary, we know how to import data, so at least for some simple scenarios. So if the data is small, and so then we can import data in this way. So use data step. So we just copy paste data into your code, right, and put it under data lines. So if you have the files already saved in external files, right, so then usually so we just use a proc import to import the data. Of course, so you can use the import wizard and ask SAS to do it automatically. Yeah, but usually so I just prefer to use a proc import. Yeah, because so this is more flexible. Yeah, so you just make sure the format of the data. Okay. So after that, yeah, so this is in-class exercise. Probably so you want to pause the video for a while, and so try to work on the exercise by yourself. So I will, yeah, so pause your video, please. Okay. Yeah, so I assume you've already tried those exercises by yourself. So let's work on the exercise together. So first, create a dataset. Use the 3 different methods, right? Yeah, so the first one, just copy the contents in blood pressure text and use data step with data line statement basically to load the dataset, right? Okay. Oh, so by the way, for the SAS code and the dataset, and you will be able to download at this website. So you can check the course syllabus for the link. Okay. I've already downloaded the data file. It is here, right? So I copy paste the code to SAS here, right? Well, so then I want to write the code. So data, maybe I just call it exercise EX, right? So then I will say input. So basically I will put name of the variable here. So patient, you can see we have 4 variables. So patient and gender, so they are characters, right? So then I write $. So notice $sign tells us the variable is a character variable. Yeah, for numerical variable, so that's fine. So then I say data lines, and so then in the end, so I will put a semicolon, right? So basically end the data step by a semicolon starting at a new line. So then I say proc print data equal exercise and run, right? So then I run it. Okay, so it looks fine, right? It looks fine. So check the log window, nothing special, right? So it looks fine. Yeah. So we complete the first one. Second one, load the data from blood pressure CSV using proc import. Yeah, I think so. I have already discussed how to do that. and so load the data from blood pressure dot XLSX using proc import. Yeah, so I think I have already demonstrated how to do that. So you should try it by yourself, or you just go back to the video and watch that part again. If you copy the data from blood pressure XLSX basically from that Excel file and use the data step, so it does not work. So really, maybe let's try. Okay, so then first let's copy the file. This is Excel, right? Okay. So then I copy this guy, copy Excel, copy this one. So then I will say data in exercise 2 input. So then I put a $sign. I put a $sign, put a no $sign here. Yeah, so semicolon, data lines, semicolon, proc print data equal to exercise 2 and run. So then if I run it, well, so seems this is not what I want to see, right? So seems data are not loaded correctly. So seems it does not work. Yeah, if you check here, so there something looks weird, right? So then what's the reason? What's the reason? Yeah, so the reason is, well, so by default, so those value should be separated by space. So now, so this looks like space, yeah, but essentially, so they are separated by the table, yeah, by the tab key. Yeah, so see if you change all those to space, then it will work, right? Well, so this tab, so this is this character, so cannot be, cannot be displayed, right? So how can you know so whether it is a space or a tab? Yeah, see if you move your mouse, the arrow key. See, so basically your cursor just jump from here to this position. Seems like a skip several blank, right? So this indicates so they are not separated by space, but separated by tab. Yeah. So basically, the value should be separated by space. Yeah. So you need to so like write your code in this way. So if the value are separated by tab, yeah. So then SAS Studio will mess it up. Yeah, so use proc print to check the values. Yeah, so in fact, every time after you load the data, so you should use proc print to check the value in the SAS dataset and compare the value with your original data to make sure the data are imported correctly. So if the data is long and you cannot check every value, at least you need to check the first row and the last row and to make sure the data are loaded correctly. Okay, that's the end of this video.